700 minus 500, there's 200 left over because you're in the hundreds place the whole time.
A math tutorial with Sal Khan, Silicon Valley's renowned edtech founder. I was brushing up on my very basic long division.
So you could say x plus 3 is equal to the plus or minus.
Today, Sal's voice is familiar to millions of school-going kids worldwide. A whole generation of whom he has helped excel in maths for free. They log on to Khan Academy and recognize that calming voice. In 2022-23 alone, there were 7.7 billion overall learning minutes on the non-profit portal. Sal's videos in 50 languages have helped kids catch up where they once lagged behind and even exceed at their class level. When it comes to maths and science, if you're a student, he has your back. And it's all for free.
Go to the top, scroll, just click on Khan Academy.
With his vast reach and recognition, the big giants in tech donate to Khan Academy. Yet Sal's story has a humble beginning. And despite his mega stature in Silicon Valley, he doesn't mind helping me find a coffee mug from the office pantry for a machine coffee.
Friendly, you don't even have plastic.
And that's a very Khan Academy inspired mug.
You do have? You've got mathematics on your mugs. I mean, you guys are very serious about it.
I think this is my mug. Someone gave this to me as a gift. And I think this might actually be from a video.
Oh my God.
I actually think this is actually from a Khan Academy
video. That is a very sweet gift. So
yes.
Rather than putting your face on a mug, they put your maths on a mug.
Exactly, which is much better for the mug.
I'm in the heart of Silicon Valley in Mountain View, California, and I'm here with the household name Salman Khan. Not Salman Khan of Hindi movie fame, but Sal Khan of math video fame. Sal Khan is a household name. He's a household name in my household because my children watch Khan Academy videos. Children routinely thank him on their YouTube, on his YouTube videos. Parents thank him. Graduates thank him because he has, some say, helped almost a whole generation of children with their maths when they needed it. For example, one comment said, "Sal, I want to thank you for existing. Because of you, I'm receiving the best and accessible education possible." Another one says, "If I ever become rich and successful, I'm going to donate as much money as I can to Khan Academy."
Any entrepreneurial journey, for-profit, non-profit, is always very hard. Mm-hmm. And I remember those first few months, I was getting rejected by a lot of philanthropists, and we were living off of savings. It was notes like that I would keep returning to. I was like, no, there's something here. Even though these philanthropists are rejecting Khan Academy right now, there's something here. And that's what honestly gave me the energy to keep working on it.
Sal, you've got a huge global footprint with the work that you do, millions of kids around the world learning from Khan Academy. Yet the beginning started with a very small piece of real estate, your walk-in closet, which is the place from which you recorded most of your videos and still record many of your videos.
Oh, I mean, I used it that first year that I had quit my day job and I was working from home. And it actually is a nice walk-in closet. I mean, it
doesn't look like one anymore. You've transformed it.
There's a window, so it's not like it's actually a nice way. I mean, you could touch both walls without spreading your arms out. So it's not huge, but there's a bookshelf and there's a window. So people shouldn't feel too sorry for me. But yeah, it's a nice closet, and now it definitely has some folklore to it.
It is
on
folklore.
brand. Yeah.
I like it. It's on brand. It should stay that way. I hope you hang on to it. I wanted to say here that Sal didn't need to do maths lessons for free for people when he was already on the path to have a very conventional, very successful, very lucrative career. He came from MIT and Harvard, was working as an analyst in a hedge fund, and then he started doing this first and foremost for his cousin. Not everyone knows that story about your cousin Nadia and how you first started helping her remotely with her math lessons. So that's how it started?
But in the back of my mind, I always had some, at the time, very nascent ideas about how education could be improved. And I always thought the coolest second career for me would be to be like a Dumbledore type figure, like my own Hogwarts. So that was always a little bit of a daydream, and I didn't really know what to make of it. So when in 2004, I was a year out of business school, I had just gotten married, my family from New Orleans, I was born and raised in New Orleans as well. They were visiting me in Boston, and it just came out of conversation that my 12-year-old cousin Nadia was having trouble with math. Her mom, Amrita, she told me. And when I talked to Nadia, she's like, yeah, unit conversion. I'm like, Nadia, I'm 100% sure you can understand unit conversion. How about when you go back to New Orleans, I tutor you. We'll figure it out on the phone. We'll use the internet, whatever. And I started working with her, and slowly but surely, I mean, a lot of the issues were just her confidence. She got over her lack of confidence. She got caught up with her class. She became, frankly, a little ahead of her class.
Wow.
And that's where I became what I call a tiger cousin. And I called up her school, and I said, oh, I really think Nadia Rahman should be able to retake that placement exam from last year. And they said, who are you? And I said, I'm her cousin. And they surprisingly let her take it. And the same Nadia who's being placed into essentially a slower math track, with just a few weeks or months of help, was able to go into an advanced math track. This is a young girl who was originally having trouble with 7th grade math. By that summer, she was taking calculus at the local university.
Whoa.
So I was hooked, and so I started tutoring her brothers, and as I mentioned, word's press in my family that free tutoring is going on.
So everyone's piled on because full rights, right? Why not? It's all in the family. I like that phrase, tiger cousin. Of course, we've heard of tiger mom. You told me this, it's amazing, like Nadia, your cousin, when she was a child, she was in, slower tracks of maths because she didn't seem to be able to do it. But after she got the help, she was able to do calculus. So what is your advice for kids at those kind of grade levels struggling? What is your advice for them and for even their parents or their guardians when they feel that maths is just not for them?
Yeah, the simple answer is to get good at anything, you just need to have consistent, deliberate practice. You just have to have a habit of it. And students, and I tell everyone, there's 50 plus efficacy studies on Khan Academy. People could go read them, and they all tell the same story. If students are able to put in even 30 to 60 minutes a week, it's accelerating them by 30, 40, 50%. Places where they're using Khan Academy is really the core of their instruction. We've started a few schools. My kids go to a school that's actually downstairs called Khan Lab School. We started another one with Arizona State University, Khan World School. In certain cases, we're seeing students accelerate 2-3 grade levels a year. And there's no magic to this. It's just that they're able to get more practice and feedback and support at their learning edge. There's no catch here. It's funded with philanthropy, and it truly is the most efficacious platform that's out there. There's a lot of folks who are happy to charge people a lot of money.
Growing up, you grew up near New Orleans in Louisiana, and there's a story about how back in the day you did your mom's taxes and you found that she was pretty much earning minimum wage, and she raised you and your sister largely singly. Did your family have a big impact on you and the fact that today you are giving away maths for free? Others might have said, when I have the capacity to earn, I'm going to earn as much as I can for myself.
My father was actually a physician, who went to med school in Bangladesh, and then, or what eventually would become Bangladesh, and then in '68 came out here, got arranged marriage to my mom in 1971. Then they're out here. My sister's born in '73. I'm born in '76. But that's when the narrative took a bit of a strange turn, which was very unusual, especially for South Asian families in the '70s. My parents separated, and I think my father was honestly going through probably some mental health issues, etc. He moves to Philadelphia. I never really met him. I mean, I knew him. I don't remember ever meeting him. I met him one day when I was 13, and he passed away when I was 14. So it wasn't a big part of our life. So my mom did raise my sister and I as a single parent. And you could imagine, I mean, the main jobs she had access to were cashier at a convenience store, or I remember, I used to think it was a cool job. When I was very young, I remember following her around because she didn't have childcare. She was the person actually at the hospital where I was born who would open up the vending machine and like take the change out. And I thought it was the coolest job that she had like the key to like every vending machine, and like all these quarters would fall out. Yeah, so we didn't, but to her credit, we never felt poor, but it every now and then would hit us. And I think beyond a certain amount, you go from zero to some figure, money matters a lot. You need to make sure you have the basics, you can support your family. every now and then you can enjoy yourself, maybe go on a vacation. But beyond that, I don't think it really gets you a lot. And if you can instead work on something that, you know, every day you get to wake up and feel like you're working on something interesting with good people, and you get notes like the note you shared, I honestly don't think there's anything better than that.
Sal Khan's down-to-earth manner hasn't worn off despite his success in Silicon Valley.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
With his golden doodle coming along for company, we walked down to Khan Lab School to say hello to a few students who seem to know Sal as well as his pet, Poppy.
IIT is having a conclave in Washington, D.C., and do you feel that there's something significant about the IIT contribution globally from IITians?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're some of the top universities in the world, and you just hang out in Silicon Valley, there's going to be an IIT person in pretty much any organization, usually at a pretty senior level, pretty much any organization that you'd to visit. Obviously, you know, Sundar's down the street at Google, and we could go down the list of all of the IIT alums out here in Silicon Valley and beyond. And I think for India to, in some ways, pioneer a system where you could cut through any of the possible shadiness that might happen and really have a test that can draw talent and cut out all of the other things that might just, and yeah, I think it's been an amazing resource, not just for India, but for the world. Honestly, I think the US could learn a little bit about that. I think